it looks like what anybody thinks it should look like, then that's not God, that's not glory, that's strategy.
Yeah, strategy.
Like you made that plan happen, and now this will happen after that.
Deuteronomy says this. I know that's not in the red words, but the Bible, it all works together. It says it all works together, bro. So it says you're gonna think. It said, don't forget the Lord your God, for it's he that giveth thee the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, as he swore unto your fathers. The scripture now. Then he says, because if not, don't you got to remember him. Because if not, you're going to think the might of your hand, the power of your hands got you this wealth.
Right.
America, God shed his grace on thee. Right? Like, this is where we are. Right? And we have tendency to be boastful about our creations and our inventions and all the things that we can do, and we think that we whatever. But every person, everything, every situation, every country has needs that it can be brought down to. You know what I'm saying? That's blessed. When God look up the original word of blessed in the Old Testament, and the first definition is to kneel.
Yeah.
So now when God really blesses you, he kneels you. Is this a blessing? I know somebody gonna watch this and get upset, and I know somebody's gonna say y'all tripping. You shouldn't have said that. And I get it. I could take that lick. We could take that lick. You know what I'm saying? We'll take that. But at the end of the day,
truth is truth.
You're on your knees is where you're submitted to get the blessing poured on you, if it makes sense. And nobody wants to bow down. We want to figuratively bow down. We want to bow down right now in the room. I want to figuratively bow down when we come to worship service or different things like that. But when I pull your livelihood, when I pull the way that you've always been doing things, and now you gotta walk on water.
Yeah. You have to make that decision.
You got to. You walk on water or die.
Yep.
And this is where we are.
Sink or stand.
This is what we're coming to. And I once again, these moments, I feel some kind of way about media and fear mongering and different things of that nature. I hear all kinds of, like somebody said today, shout out to Swag, he said somebody in Florida gave a thing talking about that the virus can't live in 130 degrees. So this is a real thing though. Y'all gonna laugh, y'all gonna think it's a joke, but somebody's very serious. But they said, so you should take a blow dry and heat it up.
A what?
A blow dry.
A blow dry?
And heat it up, and then shoot the hot air. Pause.
Yo,
and it's gonna kill coronavirus.
Yo, the same way.
Now I don't want to be spewing this foolishness out, so don't you go do that.
No.
And say we do. This is my disclaimer, but
yeah, no, I'm saying like the same way that you go post that video about the dude with Jesus and God. I think you should post a video with you trying out the blow dry.
The challenge? We're gonna call it the blow dry challenge?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, pause on that. Pause on that.
Kill Corona with the blow.
I don't care how nobody feel, but all day pause on that. We will not have that campaign, that challenge.
Bro.
The blow challenge, we will not have that.
Did you see them do it?
The blow dry challenge? No, I ain't seen that. I just heard somebody talking about it. I didn't even hear the article myself, so we're not even connecting this with me.
Oh, okay.
Somebody else told me this.
Oh, second. Okay, I got you.
This is third hand.
Okay.
Third hand, huh? Hey. So, but that's crazy how stuff, like they say, I heard today that it takes, for one person to get tested, it takes 3 or 4 test kits. Doesn't add up.
That's a waste.
Did y'all do it wrong?
It's a waste. I heard that they had the test that they had was giving back false positives. So like you can take it. That's why I think that's why they take so many, because they gotta average
Jay,
it
that's
out.
So stupid, Jay. Jay, that's so stupid, bro. That's so crazy, bro. What?
We 3 months behind and we still can't get proper tests?
They don't know nothing else though, bro. That's all they could do.
I really got upset about that just now, that they giving false positives. We don't know what number's real. Oh.
So they might say somebody that did get it that actually don't got it, but the test gave a false positive.
Right. And then you know what fear does. Fear in your mind. Imagine somebody telling you that you got something that you don't have. You immediately begin to leave that office and believe that you have it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's all fear.
Without a second thought.
Being according to your
faith.
That's neither negative nor positive. Now your faith just works.
Yep. Yep.
Faith is a substance of things.
Hope.
The evidence of things. That's not negative or positive.
Yeah. That's all fear is, faith for something negative.
Faith, right. So now you could be up there hoping for healing from something that ain't there, and the whole time your hope is creating it.
That's a dangerous game to play.
Dangerous game to play, but fear. But it's the devil's game. It's Satan's game. That's what he's at. You know, you surely he just wants you to know you ain't gonna be like him. So we're scared to not know something. So we do the exact thing that we wasn't supposed to do.
True story.
Because we were afraid of not being in the loop. If I put you in the loop, you couldn't handle what you saw.
And FOMO is real, bro.
Yeah, FOMO is real. FOMO is real.
People don't like not knowing.
FOMO is real.
Or not being in the loop, bro.
Yeah, if anybody's running this fear of missing out, we should just let them think about it. Huh? What's FOMO? You Google that FOMO real quick. They're afraid of it. I think that, but regardless of
It's the same thing. It goes both ways. Like even like with the panicking or just the rushing out to get this and that, it's the fear of missing out.
Yep.
Because you don't want to be not the people that's doing what everybody else doing and then be on the other end of it.
Politician.
Yeah, so if everybody else doing that, I need to go ahead and do that too. Regardless if I know what the point is.
It's like when somebody start running, everybody start running in that direction. Right.
Where we running from?
No gunshots. You ain't heard nothing.
Everybody just running.
Yeah, just running.
Yeah.
Just be a marathon. Then.
I was wondering, because, they say them people still asking for their rent. So I was wondering, like, people could barter, with, like, toilet paper. Like, I give you 2 packs this week. 2 more packs.
I give you 2 packs this week, next week. Right. I know some people need it.
Yeah.
Some people need it. That's crazy, man. I think this is where we are.
Yeah.
And I hadn't, it's not that I'm going to just speak for myself personally. I hadn't really been bothering God about this.
True story.
I've been asking, I pray the same prayer I pray when things are good, when things are not so good. And he said, when you pray like this, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. He said, pray after this manner. So it may not be those exact words, but he's praying identity and God's identity be finished inside of earth, which is us first. And then we begin to say, daily bread, all this stuff, right? But I'm asking for him to finish who he is. Yeah. And I'm okay. Once I ask, I have to be okay with how it's answered.
Yep.
Right? I have to be okay with it not looking like.
Yeah.
I want to say this too because I wrote this on my phone.
You still got the answer.
You still got the answer, but it just don't look like
what you wanted.
So you got to think root. I'm going to these little notes ahead. You got to think roots. The roots are not seen.
Right.
So we want fruit, but you don't think the process of the root. And every growth, this is the truth. Your living body right now is a product of this principle that I'm about to say, right? And all growth, all growth began in the dark and the dirt. Every single ounce of it. It was dark and it was dirty.
Yep. True
Right?
story.
It all begins there.
True story.
And we don't like that, but we want growth. But we don't realize there's going to be some dark moments. And there'll be some moments that you're surrounded and you're going to get a little dirty.
Yep.
And it's not going to be as clean and as bright as you think it's supposed to be.
Right. So be gloomy, bro.
So, right. It's going to be a little gloomy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be locked inside sometimes on the weekend, listen to the weekend.
Yeah.
Right?
Got him.
Hey, bro.
Soon the boy said gloomy, I said.
Hey, bro. I'm just happy my dog is back to himself now. My dog is back to himself now. He back to himself now, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Ain't no star boy.
Ain't no star boy, right?
Yeah,
Growth always starts in the dirt and in the dark. Right? And so it's not going to be convenient. It's not going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So here we are. So we are, y'all.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's when you have to trust.
Gotta trust.
That's
Well, because it ain't really trust if you see it.
Yeah.
Right?
If you up, it's sunny and everything, it's like, oh, okay, that's what he was talking about right there.
Right.
Nah, when you in the dirt, though.
Everybody want the rainbow after the flood. They want the rainbow and the effects after the flood, but nobody wants the flood to come.
Yep. Nope.
Right? And things may get on some biblical proportions. Right?
Yeah.
I heard somebody saying, I won't go too deep into this, but we were talking, and I love my friends. I love y'all, and I love our friends that work with us, RedIn30.
We love you too, bro.
We love you too, dog.
We love you too, dog.
No, but what I love more
The light-skinned guy.
light-skinned dude, right.
Yeah,
You
trying to be tough.
You overcompensate.
Yeah,
Right. But what I do appreciate more about us than having common interests and different things of that nature is our ability to think critically regardless of what's been conditioned. And our ability to not be afraid to think out of the box when we read things about Jesus, we read things in the scripture, and not get away from God's meaning, but not be afraid to say, hey, maybe he's saying this, and we'll see.
Yeah, right.
Right? This is faith, right? Because Jesus was saying a lot of stuff that people still don't understand to this day. To this day.
To this day.
You know what I'm saying? So, but he was saying,
Yo, boy.
he was saying that sometimes we talk about end times, but it says end time. He said, when I thought, this is what he told me. He said, when I thought of end times, shout out to EJ. He said, when I thought of end times, he said, I thought it was going to end that time and begin another. Last days, Last days of what? That last stuff y'all was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, all like school, like when they ain't in school right now, but you got the last day of
School. Yeah.
That means you can't have a first day till you had you can't have a resurrection till you had a
Crucifixion. Yeah.
right? So I know somebody hollering right now. No, we the end times is winning. Okay, cool, cool, bro. I get it. That's okay. Just you keep believing that. I believe it too. I'm in agreement with you.
All right.
I'm just thinking a little different. So,
We gonna see.
we gonna see. We gonna see. But here we are. So I just, my prayer. We could break down. Like, come on, y'all, let's pray for the name. I'm not praying. I'm praying God's will be done. You know what I'm saying? I believe I'm requesting for God's will to be done, and whatever part I play in it, that's what I want to be.
That's it, bro.
That's it. I mean, we have nothing else anyway.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll see.
How you gonna pray against his will?
We can't pray against it. So stop rebuking the revival.
Yep.
As soon as it don't look like what you want it to look like.
Yep.
And you start in tongues and everything. You start casting down imagination. No, your imagination should be cast down because you're a high thing that exalts itself against knowledge of what God is doing. I think God knows what He's doing.
I would hope so.
You think so?
I think so. I believe.
A question. I got another question. Is God in control or out of control?
In.
Always.
Always, right?
Always.
He always has control.
Yep.
Regardless of what seems to be happening, God is.
Yeah.
control.
In control. Do you really believe that, or do you not?
It depends on what you're basing it on. Because if you're basing it on self-interest, self-will, you know
God, come do something about this right quick.
come do something about this, right? You know, eradicate. And some of them be like, turn down fire. Come on, bro. You remember the disciples want to do
130
that.
degrees, huh?
130 degrees fire, right? Burn it all up. The disciples want to do that. I want to call down fire because somebody ain't want to listen to them.
Yeah.
He said, y'all don't know where y'all come from.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know where y'all come from. We ain't come to take like we're come to give it.
Give it, yeah.
So this is where we are, y'all. I can go on about that all day long, but if I've been praying, I have been praying. I'm gonna pray for something. This is not. I'm gonna pray God's will first, then I'm gonna add this into my list.
What you gonna add, bro?
Lord,
Straight like that, huh?
close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Come on.
Bow your head, close your eyes.
Come on,
Lord,
Pastor.
if you can do anything, I know we've asked you a lot from you, and but if you can do anything, can you please bring sports back?
Jesus, I felt that in my spirit.
I've been lost in the wilderness. I've been bewildered, lethargic. I don't know where I am. I just can't find a way to watch certain things at certain times because I know that a game should be on.
Basketball.
So God, if you can do anything,
Track.
helping people heal, all that's good. But can you bring
Sports back.
Baseball.
particularly
Basketball.
the NBA,
NBA.
particularly
LeBron.
Not hockey.
NBA stands for now bless all of us.
Never broke again.
Never broke again. In the name of, I'm playing God. Whatever you got to do, you got to do it. But yeah, so